surface more police on Kentucky roads this New Year's Eve, how they're making sure you drive safely tonight.
It's a cold night here in downtown Lexington, but that isn't stopping people from coming here to ring in the new year.
An alert for Chick-fil-A customers why the restaurant is asking them to check their bank statements closely.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 11.
Good evening to you. Many people across the Bluegrass are celebrating on this New Year's Eve, but police are working hard to make sure you stay safe on the roads. Tonight, they've increased patrols and set up checkpoints to look out for dangerous drivers. Jordan Valines talked to state troopers tonight. She joins us now live with our top story at 11. Good evening, Jordan.
That's right. Earlier tonight, we met up with Kentucky State Police at one of the many checkpoints that they've set up in order to monitor what they call their biggest concern of New Year's Eve, which is impaired drivers. It's no secret that New Year's Eve is synonymous with alcohol-infused celebrations, which is why tonight...
How are you tonight, ma'am? This is doing a safety checkpoint. Can I see your license and insurance registration, please?
Law enforcement will be keeping their eyes on the roadways and on any impaired drivers traveling upon them.
We do know that more people are out here drinking and having fun, and we just want to ensure that they don't get behind the wheel. All right, you have a safe night. Be careful.
Kentucky State Police are doubling up their efforts to keep drivers safe by increasing patrols and setting up checkpoints.
Our main things we check for is license, insurance, registration, any kind of vehicle or equipment violations that we see, and then obviously our overall goal is sobriety.
KSP concentrates on the most rural parts of the county where they set up their vehicles based on visibility and safety.
That'll be fun. Y'all have a good night, okay?
All right, I appreciate it.
All right, be careful. We're not here to scare anybody or make anybody nervous. We want to get everybody through as quick as possible, and we don't want to cause a alarm or anything like that. We're just checking, make sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to do.
And most importantly, to make sure that everyone makes this New Year's Eve a safe one. And police say if you are going to drink tonight, be sure to get a designated driver because the risk simply isn't worth it. Live in Lexington, Jordan Valines, WKYT.
Jordan, thank you. We'll begin 2015 with some frigid temperatures. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey is tracking the cold weather. He has an early look now at your New Year's forecast. Hi, Chris.
Hey, Amber. Yeah, very nice weather out there. In terms of just traveling, I'm not talking about temperatures, but we have the nice weather for all of those holiday revelers, those New Year's Eve revelers out there, whatever a reveler is. I've always wondered. I imagine a lot of folks, though, are putting the little party going on right now. Let's take a look outside, show you what we have in Lexington. Clear skies, nothing going on. Now we get to the bad part of the program. 20 degrees. Look at our wind chill. It is 9 degrees right now in Lexington with a wind that is right at 9 miles per hour. Current temperature already down to 19 in Frankfort. That is the cold spot across the area. There's a little bubble of colder air right on top of the Lexington Bluegrass region, and you throw the winds into the mix, we have single-digit wind chills as we get set to usher in a brand new year. 9 degrees in Lexington and Frankfort. And remember, the wind chill, that's what your body thinks the temperature is when you throw the wind into the mix. Live First Alert Defender, hey, nothing is going on, though we're noticing clouds that are beginning to increase well to our west. And look at what a system we are tracking from the Plain States back into the southwest where it is snowing this evening into parts of Arizona, Southern California. That system rolls our way for the weekend, Amber. That may bring some at least nasty weather into parts of the region. Could take on a little bit of everything. Wild temperature right ahead, highlighted by Arctic air showing up, coming your way in a few minutes.
Chris, thank you. Many people in Lexington aren't letting the frigid temperatures ruin the party. They'll be celebrating the new year well into the night. And for some of them, downtown is the hot spot. New at 11, Garrett Weimer shows us how Lexington is celebrating the arrival of 2015.
The streets and the sidewalks show it. Downtown Lexington is a popular place to be on New Year's Eve. Virginia Tyler and her family spent the evening ice skating at Triangle Park, what's become a New Year's Eve tradition for them.
And it's just something that we can pass on, that Norman Rockwell moment with the kids. We had hot chocolate to warm us up, so we have really had a good time.
Even the really cold temperatures didn't stop people from coming here to downtown Lexington to ring in the new year. Gregory Clark came downtown to celebrate with family and friends.
then after that, execute the, I suppose, the New Year's resolutions.
And what might that be?
Oh, probably no alcohol till after St. Patrick's Day.
Just to be happy and healthy and take care of each other.
Regardless of what folks' resolutions might be when the sun rises on New Year's Eve, Clark and others will take their cup of kindness yet at bars around the city.
I'll watch the ball drop there and then head home via taxi, of course, which is very important tonight.
The main resolution being to stay safe so everyone can enjoy what the new year has to offer.
Guys, do you want to say anything?
In Lexington, Garrett Weimer,
Happy New Year!
WKYT.
Well, if you need a ride home after a party tonight, ride sharing and cab companies say they'll be ready. They say New Year's Eve is one of their busiest nights of the year, so you may have to wait for a ride, in some cases more than an hour. Cab companies suggest planning ahead.
We will expect to do between 1,200 and 1,500 trips tonight, which is about 3 times our normal Wednesday night business.
As for ride-sharing companies, Uber sent an email to customers saying they expect tonight to be their busiest night ever. And keep this in mind, Uber and Lyft may kick in what they call surge or prime time pricing that will increase the amount you will pay for a ride. Uber recommends avoiding rides between 12:30 a.m. and 2:30 a.m. if you want to save some money. It's also a chilly night in New York City, but that isn't stopping the celebration in Times Square. Hundreds of thousands of people have gathered for the annual ball drop, and we are now a little less than an hour away. This is a live look now from Times Square. Some people have waited there all day just to watch the ball drop at midnight. Wendy Gillette talked to some of the people braving the cold weather for the big party.
The glittering Waterford crystal ball is in place high above an estimated 1 million people packed into Times Square. Yeah! They came from all over the world.
Where are you from?
I'm from South Korea,
Japan,
Saudi Arabia.
Most arrived to secure their viewing spots early in the morning. After passing through security, revelers were confined to massive pens they can't leave, even to use the restroom.
I haven't had anything to drink since this morning.
Heavily armed counterterrorism officers and bomb-sniffing dogs were on patrol to keep the crowd safe.
It's also a very cold night. With the wind chill, the temperature feels like it's in the teens, and there's nowhere to get warm.
I am freezing. I am from Florida, born and raised, and I am not made for the north.
Big acts like OAR and Taylor Swift headlined this year's party.
How much do you like Taylor Swift?
We like her a lot. She's the biggest fan that I know.
When the ball drops at midnight, more than 1 billion people from around the world are expected to watch. Wendy Gillette for CBS News, Times Square, New York.
Oh, they are some hardy souls. So far, New York police have not reported any major security problems around Times Square tonight. Tonight, Chick-fil-A announced it is looking into a possible credit card breach at some of its restaurants. Chick-fil-A officials say they receive reports of possible unusual activity involving credit cards. The company is now working with IT security firms and law enforcement. Officials also say any affected customers would not be liable for fraudulent charges. Chick-fil-A has not said which of its restaurants could be affected. For more information, just go to WKYT.com. Tonight, police have arrested a Leslie County High School student accused of making threats against the school. State police say they've charged the student with terroristic threatening. He's now at a juvenile detention center. Police say the student posted several threatening messages on Twitter suggesting guns would be used at the school Monday. Police say no person in particular was targeted. The school is closed this week for the holidays. Classes, though, resume on Monday. It is a snowy and icy New Year's Eve in parts of the West. Snow from a winter storm stranded hundreds of drivers just east of Los Angeles, and flurries even fell in Las Vegas. Whiteout conditions were reported in parts of New Mexico. The storm also brought strong winds that sent tents flying as crews were setting up for the Rose Bowl parade and game in Pasadena, California. Morning lows could be in the 30s, which could be the coldest in the Rose Parade's history. Tonight, a Pulaski County mother says she can't understand why her son was killed in a crash. Jody Johnson and Justin Angel both died Friday when police say the car they were riding in hit a tanker truck in Somerset. Johnson's mother says he survived 4 heart surgeries and an aneurysm surgery when he was a child. She said he was her only child.
I said I've never seen such love pouring out for him. He didn't think he had very many friends, but my Facebook and Messenger has just been burned up.
The driver of the car, Travis Strope, was just released from UK hospital. His grandmother says he may never fully recover from his injuries. Authorities in China say at least 35 people were killed during a stampede at a New Year's Eve celebration. China's state-run news agency says more than 40 others were injured amid the chaos in Shanghai. It happened about a half an hour before midnight there. Many people had jammed a popular riverfront area for the New Year's celebrations. Authorities haven't figured out what led to the stampede. Tonight, we are learning more about what police think led to a toddler accidentally shooting his mother inside an Idaho Walmart. Investigators say 29-year-old Veronica Rutledge died yesterday morning while shopping with her 2-year-old son and other children. Police now say the child took a semi-automatic handgun out of his mother's purse and shot her in the head, killing her instantly. Police say the purse was new and designed to carry a concealed firearm. They say the child unzipped that pocket that the gun was in. Police say the store's manager stepped in and took the gun from the child. They say Rutledge had a concealed weapons permit. This incident has some people questioning the safety of concealed weapons. State police say the number of people applying for concealed carry licenses in Kentucky has gone up each of the past few years. 60,000 people applied in 2013 alone. Evans Firearms and Archery in Lexington is among the places that offer gun safety classes.
Certainly there's a constant flow of people that are interested in taking a class, and a lot of reasons is for the safety concerns.
Evans Firearms Managers says the classes teach people how to respect the weapons and the damage that they can cause. A man badly injured in an accident at an eastern Kentucky mine says he has a lot to be thankful for in this new year. Earlier this month, a fire at Bell County Mine burned William Muncie. He also broke his leg trying to escape. Muncie spent days at Vanderbilt University Hospital, and doctors think it will take him a year to recover, but he's now home, and Muncie says he's just thankful to be alive.
I'm just thankful to God they gave me the opportunity to spend with my family. I mean, I would have been here if it wasn't for him. And just want to praise God.
Investigators say that fire started when Muncie's bulldozer hit a gas line. Muncie says his co-workers and rescue crews saved his life after he was injured.